This is the Eye for an Eye channel. Welcome to today's show. I want to thank a subscriber over on the website, UprisingRevival.com, Dana, who shared this with everybody over on the website. And again, lots of great stuff like this is shared over there. And of course, this isn't great to see, but everybody needs to be aware of this stuff and then make other people aware of it so they can see what's going on around us. And that's really what the website is helpful for. Everybody can see what's going on, because we're not all going to catch everything that's going out there. Like, this is something from Cosmopolitan magazine. So obviously I don't have a subscription to Cosmo, okay? And I'm not saying that Dana does either, but everybody out there is obviously looking at stuff, seeing stuff all over the place, and then covering it and sharing it. So Cosmopolitan, for those of you that don't know, is a very influential magazine for teenagers, teenage girls. And they put stuff in there like this deliberately because they're using these magazines and these influences over them for behavioral control, right? That's what this is really all about. And this is mind-blowing to me because I'm going to substitute the word. It starts with abort and ends with un. I'm going to substitute it with Planned Parents, okay? Because that's the only thing I can think of at this moment. That's usually what I do. But I'm going to read to you what they posted on their Instagram account and they put in their magazine. And it's called, "How Does a Satanic Planned Parenthood Event Ceremony Even Work?" So they're talking about ritualizing and how you could do a satanic ritual through your Planned Parenthood event that you're doing to yourself, right? And that's really what this is all about. That's why they've glorified and normalized this stuff so that they can get civilians to openly commit these ritual sacrifices and think that it has something to do with their choice and their infringement on their rights. It's insanity that people have actually bought into this, but they have. So Cosmo is not only are these magazines talking about how, every girl out there should be doing this and it's the right thing for them to do, and pretty much gaslighting women into getting Planned Parenthood done to themselves. They're gaslighting them into it by telling them, hey, did you just meet a guy? Here are 10 tips as to why you should really consider going to Planned Parenthood if you're pregnant. Oh, here are 5 ideas. Is the guy who knocked you up, does he have these qualities? Maybe you should consider Planned Parenthood. Those are what these magazines train and teach young girls. It has nothing to do with you, them caring about you. It has to do with wanting you to perform that ritual. And because, of course, when you do these rituals, those things that come out of it, they end up, nobody goes, where do they go? Oh, do they bury him in a nice grave or whatever? Oh, no. As I've covered on the website before, they go into the back of a dumpster usually, and they're taken and they're preserved for rituals. That's what they do with these things because, again, the Old Testament talks about sacrifice to Baal. These children are essential in these rituals. They aren't just essential, they're mandatory in their rituals. And a lot of the times throughout history, they've had to use abduction, obviously abduction, kidnapping, those types of means. So you get these children, and like I've talked about inside of covens, they breed these children for these rituals. And now they actually have our society convinced to do these rituals for them and give them those Planned Parenthood casualties, right? Willingly, so that they could do the rituals with them. So instead of just using basic propaganda here, Cosmo with it normally would do, like I said, would convince people, here, is this something you're going through? Maybe you should get Planned Parenthood. Oh, is this your boyfriend's qualities? Maybe you should consider it if you're pregnant, right? They use those methods. Listen to this. I can't show you the words on the screen, so I'm going to read it to you. The title is, so how does a satanic Planned Parenthood ceremony even work? And then they give you, with an upside down cross, a detailed explanation. They say patients of all faiths are welcome at Samuel Alito's Mom's Satanic Planned Parenthood Clinic in New Mexico. Along with medical counsel, the Satanic Temple offers free ceremonial support to everyone. Planned Parenthood ceremonies are totally optional and customizable. Here's a simple one that the Satanic Temple recommends. First, find a quiet space. Bring a mirror if you can. Just before taking the medication, gaze at your reflection and focus on your personhood. Home in on your intent, your responsibility to you. Of course, it's all about you, right? It's about you, me. And they convince people that these, going through with an act of Planned Parenthood, the society of narcissists that they've created, they convince them that it's fine. And of course, using a mirror so they can look at themselves, me, don't think about the child, think about you, because the child, they've convinced you isn't even a real human being, of course. That's how insane this is. But on top of that, we know, and I've covered this, that mirrors are used in witchcraft, okay? Spirits and things are summoned. A lot of these rituals that they do, there's always mirrors involved. I've covered that before, mirrors specifically, as musicians use mirrors and broken glass, which have to do with altars and MK Ultra and traumatic ritual abuse that occurs. So mirrors are always used. So I'll continue. So after giving you that advice, they continue on here, which is hone in on your intent, your responsibility to you, which is witchcraft. They say, take a few deep, relaxing breaths. When you're ready, read the following tenet aloud. Quote, one's body is invoidable, subject to one's own will alone. Take the medication and immediately afterward recite, quote, and I'm saying this, reading this to you, I'm not reciting this. Belief should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's belief. So they're using science here, right? The word science, because remember, we've been trained, never question science. And science is whatever fits their narrative of what they want to push. They label it as science so that you can't question it, right? Just like they did growing up with evolution being science. Evolution's all bullcrap, and anybody out there with common sense could tear apart an atheist debate on evolution. It's laughable. They call that science. But they just did the same thing with science, right? They told you to take a certain something, to make, and the whole science was, well, if you take it, it's supposed to make you immune, but it doesn't, right? So where's the science on that? Oh, right. There isn't science on that. Oh, they told us that science would tell us that you didn't have to put a diaper over your face to protect you from. Oh, right. The science changed on that. Oh, right. Now they tell us that men can have babies, maybe the most basic science ever, if there is a thing as such as science. Then, of course, they tell us that that's not real, too, right? So look at that. I mean, the methods of mind control that the Satanists use. Beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding. So what does that even mean of the world, right? You mean the mind control understanding that you're putting under these people, the hypnosis they're under, so that they get this distorted view of the world, like this distorted viewpoint on Planned Parenthood, this viewpoint about how it's about them and it's about their reproductive rights and, the men are abusive and the woman should be allowed to do this. They're pretty much dehumanizing the child is what they do. So they say, conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. What their real understanding of the world should be is that there's a living thing inside of them that's theirs, right? That's alive and it's a part of them. But they've convinced them scientifically, of course, which is all bullcrap. Their understanding of the world is that they should go through with this immediately, not later, immediately, so they don't have second thoughts about, going through with the committing of murder. So it goes on to say, one should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's beliefs. Later, so apparently committing this act, again, is science, is what they're saying. So don't let your beliefs get in the way, even if you're a Christian. Don't let your beliefs get in the way. Science tells you to commit the ritual. So it goes on to say, later, once the procedure is complete, return to your reflection. So go back to the mirror. So this is literally witchcraft. So go back to your reflection. Focus again on your personhood, your power in making this decision. Complete the ritual by reciting a personal affirmation. So here's the spell. Ready? They say, by my body, my blood, by my will, it is done. So these people don't even realize that the Satanic Temple is having you participate in this ritual offering that you're doing. On top of you just committing the act of murder, they're having you participate in the spell. Unbelievable. Goes on to say, mirror and mantras or not, the Satanic Temple's point is that your Planned Parenthood event should focus on your autonomy in making this decision. Patients can include as many loved ones as they like, or light candles, or even dress up. So now on top of it, and this will end up being normalized. Everyone out there would laugh. They'll be like, just like I always say about the mark of the beast. It's like I used to grow up and I'd be like, who would be dumb enough to take it? Now I'm like, how are they're going to deceive people? And they're literally going to call, I have a feeling they're literally going to call it the mark of the beast and people are going to line up and get it. Christians will still be like, that's not the real mark of the beast. It's Apple, right? Well, same thing here. Listen how this is getting normalized. Patients can include as many loved ones as they like. Oh, and by the way, light candles or even dress up. So in other words, because all these satanic rituals are always candles lit around their magic circle and dress up. What do they mean dress up? Oh, dress up in your druid cloak, right? Preparing people for that. So they say light candles or even dress up, whatever makes them feel empowered, right? So this is what they're teaching in Cosmopolitan to young girls out there. Not only are they telling you that this is science, so apparently it's science to commit murder, right? It's science. You know, people try to give you stories about it. It's almost like they want to get knocked up so that they can perform the ritual. And that's what they're almost convincing people. Like, oh, you got knocked up? Well, go get it. Oh, and on top of that, let us tell you how you can empower yourself. And these idiots are so zombified and under such a hypnosis and psychosis that they literally are telling you, hold up a mirror, right? So mirrors involved in smoking. Light candles, put on a druid cloak, and commit the sacrifice. And then look in the mirror and tell everybody, by my body, my blood, by my will, it is done. Oh, it's not a satanic ritual. It's just a little fun little thing that we're doing, right? Are these the same methods that they use when they get inside the schools with the children? Of course they are. Of course they are. Empowerment is part of this. Empowerment is part of the craft. Okay, I've always warned about this empowerment movement. And of course, they're empowering psychopaths in this society. But they use the words like empowerment. So people think that they're doing this on their own will. Oh, I'm empowered. I'm doing this with my own will. You're under hypnosis. You're not empowered. You're under a spell. And these people refuse to break the spell. So Cosmopolitan, again, is a very popular magazine with teenage girls. So this is very influential in them. And these types of things, you might look at it and say, well, it's an article. It's kind of joking around. That's how they desensitize people and then start normalizing it. Okay? Look where we're at in today's society. You're telling me that they're not going to normalize and be like, hey, you know, these are the things that people should do when they go to Planned Parenthood. They'll probably have a manual inside every Planned Parenthood, okay, in America in the next couple of years. Well, they'll be like, oh, well, this reading material is here from our friends at the Satanic Temple. Don't worry, they don't really worship Satan. Don't worry, they just say Hail Satan at everything that they do, and they have the pentagram and all. Don't worry about it. They care about you and your rights. Hey, read this spell for them while you're performing this act of murder on your child, okay? And no, it's not us. That's all conspiracy theory. These people are conspiracy theorists who are saying that it's witchcraft and Satanists use children. They just care about you, and they care about people so much that they're leaving these pamphlets here for you so that you can do the spell for them. Hello? Hi? Is anybody's brain on yet? Does anyone see what's happening, or is it just me? I mean, can you believe we're at this point? Because I'm really having a tough time believing it. I mean, that the zombification of humanity has gotten to this point. They're literally telling you this, and the Satanic Temple wants to help you. They're not, the link has always been what? With these things with children, these sacrifices with children. It's always been to Satanism, has it not? And they're like, oh, we don't do that stuff. But then they come and they're like, we don't really worship the devil. Oh, but we have these things we'd like you to do when you go and, you do the Planned Parenthood. Can you mind doing this little spell? Get this mirror, too. They're literally having you partake in a satanic ritual. And these idiots out there still laugh it off and are like, these guys look how worked up this guy's getting over the little thing. Okay. Well, you might be worked up when you're burning in hell because you're performing these rituals being told that it's science and it's normal. And then you turn around and suddenly you see Barry Obama bending you over with a pitchfork, shoving it right up the Hershey Highway. Okay, these people are completely under hypnosis. And of course, I love the fact too, when we look at Planned Parenthood, we look at these things, that nobody ties in the fact that Bill Gates' father was on the board and one of the founders of Planned Parenthood. Billy Gates, the same guy who's, trying all these, just happens to be involved in all these other things with getting something in your body and the climate and don't eat meat. And of course, he's all about reproductive rights because he cares about women so much, right? I mean, how anybody's not seeing it, really. At this point, if you don't see it, it's either on you for being too prideful or you're just really stupid. I'll just say that flat out because I know there's people who troll my channel all the time, and still, even now, not having a reach really anymore. Okay, let me say this clearly. If you don't see it now, after seeing all my content, you either are really prideful and have a wall up that you need to take down, or you're really, really stupid. Plain and simple, okay? So I want to thank Dana again for sharing this on the website and everybody over there who shares really great information, great stuff like this that I wouldn't see. Cosmopolitan, okay? These magazines are nothing more than influential. Now, magazines might not have the importance that they used to have, but they do in a sense because they're brand names. These brands have built up trust in people. Oh, what does Cosmo say about this? What does Cosmo say? And we all might look at it and be like, nobody's influenced by it. They are. They are. Now, people might not buy magazines anymore at the grocery store, etc., because nobody's even going anymore. They're getting delivered, which is all part of the enslavement system. But they'll go on Instagram. They'll read this stuff online, okay? And now we're seeing Cosmopolitan. Who's next? Who's next that's going to start infiltrating this type of stuff into their content? They're already promoting this type of stuff, right? So we've already had them promote, the sacrifice of children, which 20 years ago you would have thought would be crazy in these magazines. Now that wave is done, now the next wave is, well, let's tell you the things you could do to comfort yourself while you're doing the ritual. How about you just read this out loud? This is about empowering yourself. Hold up a mirror and read this, chant this little spell. Witchcraft's not real. Satanism's not real. Just do it. Why? I'm here to, because I was told that maybe the best thing for me to do would be to go through with this Planned Parent thing. Do you have any reading material? Well, here's some great reading material from the Satanic Temple. You suspicious yet? Yeah, you're part of a ritual and you're under mind control. Snap out of it. Hopefully people will sooner or later, but I don't have hope that that's going to occur. I thank everyone for being here. Hope to see you over on the website, uprisingrevival.com. Thanks again, everybody. God bless all of you and your families.